Al, before we get into this episode and
Mm-hmm.
restart the Resident Evil train, choo choo,
Mm-hmm.
I
Choo choo.
believe we have to begin this episode by hearing some words of wisdom from the poet auteur by the name of Earl Simmons.
Okay.
Arf arf. Yeah. Yeah, don't get it twisted. This rap is mine. It's not a game. What you heard. It's what you hearin'. It's what you hearin'. It's what you hearin'. It's what you hearin'. X gonna give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. X gonna deliver to you. Knock knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop-pop and stainless steel. Go hard getting busy with it, but I got such a good heart I'll make him wonder if he did it. Right, and I'll do it again, cause I'm right, so I gots to win. Break with the enemy, but no matter how many cats I break bread with, I'll break who you sending me. You never wanted nothing, but your wife said that's for the light day. I'm getting down. Make it say freeze, but won't be the one ended up on his knees. Please, if the only thing you cast is come out to play, get out of my way. First we gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop. Go, let it go. X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you.
You are gonna hate yourself by the time that you have to edit this.
Nah, it's gonna be great.
You're gonna have to edit so much of that out.
I am. But it's very much worth it.
It's a good goof.
It is very much a good goof. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Seasonal Anime Checkup, OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga.
Mm-hmm.
This is episode number 116.
Nice, you already had it.
I just looked it up. I'm Jared, that is Doc Al and Ladyem.
Hello.
And we are here to resume
The choo-choo.
the Resident Evil train as we discuss Resident Evil 2.
Or as we mentioned in one of the Resident Evil podcasts that I can't remember at this point, Resident Evil!
Yeah, because they don't say it in this game.
No. Jerks.
What if there was a mod instead where you hit start when you boot up Resident Evil 2 and it just says DMX's like dog bark and it's like arf, arf. It's just him yelling
From what
out,
I understand,
"This
though,
isn't a game."
From what I understand, if you put on like the classic audio, it does do the Resident Evil thing.
But you have to have bought like the deluxe edition or one of the special editions of it to get that soundtrack.
Yeah, hard pass.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a bummer. But
Although that Leon statue is real nice.
Resident Evil 2 is a video game that was remade just very recently, but also came out in the year 1998, a year that a lot of people describe as one of the best years for video games in general. This is also a game that came out on numerous platforms before its remake. It came out on the PlayStation, of course, on January 21st, 1998 in the North America regions, and Japan, January 29th, 1998, and PAL in April 29th, 1998, and also a DualShock version, which released in Japan on August 6th, 1998, and North America on November 11th, 1998. On the Microsoft Windows platform, in Japan on February 19th, 1999, in North America on February 28th, 1999, and on PAL on April 1999, on the Nintendo 64 on October 31st, 1999, so obviously a big difference there between that and the PS1 version. In Japan on January 28th, 2000, and on PAL regions on February 9th, 2000. Also came to the Dreamcast in Japan on December 22nd, 1999, PAL April 28th, 2000, and North America on December 6th, 2000. Came to the GameCube on January 14th, 2003 in North America, January 23rd, 2003 in Japan, and May 30th, 2003 in PAL, and also came to the Game.com. Tiger Electronics, fantastic handheld platform. Then, of course, the latest version, just recently remade and all that, came out on January 25th, 2019 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. That is the version that you played through, and I watched you play through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the one we mostly have the... At least I guess I have the most experience with. I believe you've played the original version.
I have.
Which I have also played a little bit of, but I don't remember anything from. All I know is that, hey, I own a copy of Resident Evil 2 on PS1.
Nice.
I don't know where it is. I'm assuming it's somewhere here. But yeah, I played a little bit of it and then never got that far. It was scary.
Scary. This one was scary.
It was.
Like, super scary.
Got the spooks in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like before we get into Resident Evil 2, we have to talk about a precursor to this game. And that's Resident Evil 1.5. The half step.
That's a thing.
The half step into Resident Evil. I'm gonna read from the Wikipedia page that discusses Resident Evil 1.5, and also a little bit about the final version, which they talk about. And then we'll eventually, because there's some weird things that they're referencing here, and I am like curious to see what this means. But yeah, and then we'll eventually talk about the differences between the ports and all that sort of stuff. Resident Evil 1.5. Wikipedia describes it as the development of Resident Evil 2 began 1 month after the completion of its predecessor in early 1996. The first footage of the game was shown at the V-Jump Festival in 1996 in July, which I believe is a festival surrounding like the Jump series magazines, which is a weird place to unveil Resident Evil 2. This early build, later dubbed Resident Evil 1.5 by producer Shinji Mikami, differed drastically from the release version in scenario, presentation, and gameplay mechanics. Its plot followed the same basic outline as that of Resident Evil 2 and featured a zombie outbreak in Raccoon City 2 months after the events of the first game. In this version of the story, however, Umbrella had already been closed down as a consequence of their illegal experiments. The development team sought to retain the level of fear from the original game and introduced two characters who lacked experience with terrifying situations. Rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy, largely identical to his persona in the final build, and Elza Walker, a college student and motorcycle racer vacationing in Raccoon City, her hometown. Unlike the final version, the story paths of Leon and Elza did not cross, and each playable character had two support partners instead of just one. Leon received help from fellow police officer Marvin Branagh and a researcher named Linda, an early version of Ada, while Elza was aided by Sherry Birkin and a man named John, who appeared in Resident Evil 2 as a gun shop owner Robert Kendo. Real-world examples influenced several character designs by artists Isao Ohishi and Ryoji Shimogama. For example, Ohishi based Leon on his bloodhound, a dog.
What?
Yep, that's what it says. And Annette Birkin was modeled after actress Jodie Foster. The police department in which Resident Evil 1.5 began had a more modern and realistic design. It was smaller than the final building scene in Resident Evil 2. There are more encounters with surviving policemen, such as a superior officer of Leon called Roy. Roy! The number of polygons used for enemy models were far lower than in the release version. This allowed many zombies to appear on the screen, a method of invoking fear in the player that recurred through Resident Evil 1.5. Furthermore, the game employed dynamic music and frequently applied alterations to the pre-rendered backgrounds in response to events during the gameplay. The playable characters could be equipped with gear such as protective clothing that enhanced their defense and enabled them to carry more items. The characters' polygonal models were altered by costume changes and by damage received from enemies. This really seems like, from what they had developed before they scrapped it all, like a game that was ahead of its time.
It was definitely ahead of its time.
Which is interesting to hear about, considering, like, you know, they have all of this stuff like already mapped out and developed that like it just all got scrapped and never. I mean, like, obviously some parts of it came into what we now know as Resident Evil 2, but you know, other parts of it just like, you know, they never went back to.
Yeah, and I mean, it's rumored that it was like at least 80% done.
But yeah, like it sounds like it. Yeah.
And like that number varies from like 60 to 80, but even then, that's a significant portion of a game finished that they're just like, you know what? No, I'm getting rid of it. I don't like it.
Yeah, this it says down here, 1.5 was scrapped at a development stage of 60 to 80%.
Oh, nailed it.
Also, of course, remember that this was directed by Hideki Kamiya, which is still a weird thing to think about. Shinji Mikami later explained that the game would not have reached the desired quality in the aforementioned period. They were trying to release it by May 1997 and basically wasn't coming to. And he especially frowned upon the gameplay and locations for being dull and boring. The story of Resident Evil 1.5, with which Mikami planned to end the series, was criticized by supervisor Yoshiki Okamoto, who is, let's see here, let me just get this right. He is the designer credited with producing popular titles for Konami, including Geras and Time Pilot, and Capcom, including Final Fight and Street Fighter 2.
Wow. Okay.
So he found it to be too conclusive to allow for future installments. Instead, Okamoto proposed the creation of a fictional universe that would turn Resident Evil into a meta-series similar to the Gundam and James Bond franchises, in which self-contained stories with common elements could be told. During a period in which the team made no progress rewriting the scenario, Okamoto was introduced to professional screenwriter Noboru Sugimura, who he obviously would go to work on Resident Evil and the Onimusha series later on. He was enthusiastic about the first game's story. They brought him in as a consultant, and then basically were like, hey, why don't you write all of Resident Evil 2? That included reworking Elsa into Claire, making that a connection to the first plot, so they had that sort of thing. Jesus, Capcom's initial plan for this game was to have it sell 2 million copies.
Whew.
And to do that, Kamiya was like, well, to attract new customers, we're going to make this more ostentatious and a Hollywood-like style presentation. Well, let's see if there's anything else. Only a few assets from Resident Evil 1.5 could be recycled, as the principal locations of the final build were made to look more extravagant and artistic based on photographs taken of the interiors of Western-style buildings in Japanese cities.
Didn't they like get kicked out of buildings trying to take pictures?
This doesn't say, but
I'm pretty sure that the developers were like in those buildings taking pictures for a reference, and they got kicked out of them because you're not supposed to take pictures. Like I'm 90% certain. I'm not making that up.
Apart from the graphics, one of the most important new features was the zapping system, which was partly inspired by Back to the Future Part 2.
What?
That's all it says. The voiceovers by the all-Canadian cast of Resident Evil 2 were recorded before the actual cutscenes were completed, with each of the actors selected from a roster of 10 people per role. Thereafter, the full-motion videos were created by filming stop-motion animations of action figures, which were then rendered to completed pictures with computer graphics tools. Ada's movie model could not be finished in time, thus she is the only main character not to appear in a pre-rendered cutscene. Several changes had to be made between the regional versions of RE2. The North American version contains more violent game over screens, which were removed from the Japanese Biohazard 2. And RE2 was also made more difficult than its Japanese equivalent to prevent rentals from affecting U.S. sales. That's interesting. Because you hear that more often from like the NES, SNES era, not from midway through the PS1 era. Also, I guess kind of weird as well to hear like, oh, the North American version is the hard one and the Japanese one's the easy one, because usually that's also
that's rare.
Flip-flopped.
Yep.
You want to hear about the differences between these initial releases, and then we'll talk about the one we played?
You bet.
All right. So following the initial release of the PS1 version, it was reissued and ported to other systems. The first re-release was the DualShock version, which incorporated support for the vibration and analog control functions of the DualShock controller. Other additions include a new unlockable minigame called Extreme Battle and a rookie mode that enables the player to start the main story with a powerful weapon that features infinite ammo. The Japanese release of the DualShock version contained a USA version mode based on the difficulty level of Resident Evil 2's Western versions, which is interesting. The DualShock version served as the basis for the majority of the ports, such as the Windows-based PC CD version Resident Evil 2 Platinum. Aside from retaining all previously added features, the PC version can be run in higher resolutions.
Whoa.
A data gallery was added to the main menu, allowing the player to view movies, rough sketches, illustrations, and 3D models. In February 2006, a Japan-exclusive Windows XP-compatible PC DVD re-release was published.
Woo, that's dated.
It included high-quality FMVs. The Dreamcast version keeps the additions from the original PC release and incorporates real-time display of the character's condition on the VMU peripheral, which is cool. The Japanese edition of the Dreamcast port was given the subtitle Value Plus and came with a playable demo of Resident Evil Code Veronica. Smart. An unmodified port of the DualShock version was released for the GameCube. The initial PlayStation version was re-released on the Japanese PSN in 2007, while the service's North American counterpart received the DualShock version 2 years later. And then there's the N64, which we know is is a system.
Oh my goodness.
The N64 version of RE2 differs most from the other releases, as is the one of the very few games released to the console to have FMVs, overcoming the limited storage space of the cartridge. The PlayStation version was with two CD-ROMs The PlayStation version with two CD-ROMs of up to 700 megabytes per disc was faithfully replicated with unique enhancements on a 64 megabyte N64 game pack. Audio and video assets had to be aggressively and creatively compressed using novel techniques that shift the burden more toward the console's high real-time processing power. God, they had a budget of $1 million to port this game to N64. That's ridiculous. This version offers features that were not included on any other system, such as alternate costumes, the ability to adjust the degree of violence and to change the blood color, a randomizer to place items differently during each playthrough. That's really interesting.
Huh.
And a more responsive first-person control system. Additionally, the port features 16 new in-game documents known as EX files written by Tetsuro Oyama. Hidden throughout the 4 scenarios, they reveal new information about the series lore and connect the story of Resident Evil 2 to those of the other installments, including some that hadn't even been released at the time.
The
N64 adjusts its display resolution, blah, 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 blah. Supports the expansion pack. Yeah. This is also interesting. The N64 version is the only one to use surround sound. Huh. Some features from the other enhanced ports on the DualShock version do not appear in the N64 version, such as Extreme Battle minigame. And then there was a port of Resident Evil 2 for the Sega Saturn, but it eventually it was canceled in October 1998, so it did not come out. The Game.com version came out in late 1998. It included only Leon's story path and removed several of the original game's core features. In February 2013, an unfinished build of Resident Evil 1.5 was leaked onto the internet.
Ooh.
That's interesting. In Italy, Resident Evil 2 was temporarily banned in 1999 following criticism from the political organization. Oh boy, here we go. Let's butcher some Italian here. Movimento Diritti Civili. It's the civil rights movement for its realistic depiction of violence, with the law enforcement agency Guardia di Finanza seizing over 5,500 unsold copies. After Sony Computer Entertainment asked for a re-examination of the seizure decree, the ban was lifted a few months later.
Wow. That's intense.
Jesus.
Now we know.
At the time of its release, also, it became the fastest-selling video game in North America. On the weekend following its release, it sold 380,000 copies and grossed $19 million. It therefore surpassed the revenue of all but one Hollywood movie at the time and broke previous sales records set by the video games Final Fantasy VII and Super Mario 64.
Wow.
It eventually would sell up to 4.96 million copies, which obviously I think is surpassing Capcom's initial 2 million estimate that they wanted to do. So they did their thing, and then they remade the game 21 years later.
Which I have 2 things to say about that.
Okay.
One, talking about the year 1998. I was a young Al at that point. Depending on what, I think I was generally 10 for most.
Generally.
I mean, I was born in January, so I was 10 for most of the year. 10-year-old Al realized that 1998 was a good year for like video game blonde dudes, because I didn't really have game crushes until Leon S. Kennedy and Link in Ocarina of Time, and then how far I've fallen. Now I just have game crushes all over the place. But those 2, they were like the first. Second, I want to say that the most tragic part about this remake is that they changed Leon's backstory. It is no longer his first day, and he no longer got dumped and got completely trashed before his first day at Raccoon City Police Department. But it makes so much more sense. Like, logically, it makes more sense that if he were, like, down in the dumps and drunk off his ass, and then he's like, oh, you know what, I have to go to work, crap. Like, he wouldn't have time to look at the news or see what's going on in Raccoon City. He would just be like, oh crap, I'm late to work, I'm gonna lose my job, oh no. But like, he has time because his backstory in the remake is that he's like waiting for instructions. Like, why change that? It's hilarious that he was drunk. Because then you're just imagining that he's playing, or he's going through the entirety of the story of Resident Evil 2 just hungover as shit.
It's true.
Can you imagine how wild it would be to be hungover and then Mr. X shows up?
He's like, oh god, this day just keeps getting worse.
Like, not only did you get dumped, but also you're hungover, and also there is a giant man coming after you.
He's a big old boy.
He's a big old boy. Like, what a wild day. But they took that out. It's very tragic. It's like the worst part about this. But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. I played this, and you were my moral support.
It's true.
Kind of the reverse of what we did for the original Resident Evil remake. So we did Leon A, Claire B first. And for one, like, it's incredibly pretty.
It is.
It's a really pretty video game. Leon abandons his Jeep very early on.
Leon, your Jeep.
Leon, your Jeep.
Your Jeep.
Your Jeep, Leon. Which I still don't understand why he didn't take his Jeep. Maybe because he was worried that he didn't have gas in it. I don't know. How did you know the police car had gas in it?
No one ever said that boy knows how to think clearly.
I think that since we refer to him as well as the big energy, I think that he does not clearly think, but Leon, your Jeep.
The BDE person of the week.
He is the BDE person of the week, Jesus Christ. Something that is worth mentioning is that one, they did like facial scans. So the models of Leon and Claire don't look anything like previous looks of Leon and Claire. And they also did not use the traditional voice actors of Leon and Claire.
Correct.
Which is very upsetting.
Correct.
Very upsetting. You guys should pay voice actors what they are worth and stop getting scabs.
True.
Yes. Because I think that would have made a big difference in this game to have people who are used to these characters voicing them.
Yeah, because especially just going through, playing through both those routes as you did, like, and hearing a lot of that voice acting, like, it's not good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where, like, this delivery is real flat or awkward, and just, it's not a... I don't know if I would just attribute that down to performance or just the way it was directed, but it is overall not a good package there.
Yeah, it's not great. But, like, honestly imagine if we had gotten this game with Matt Mercer as Leon and Allison Court as Claire. Like, that would have been good.
Yeah, of course, totally.
That would have been so good. Which we did get Keith Silverstein in this, so there is that positive.
Very briefly.
Although he voiced very briefly. He might be in the Fourth Survivor route.
Yeah.
More because that's Hunk, but
he's no agent.
He voices Hunk. I mean, he is not an agent. He is Hunk.
It's true.
Which I always thought it was funny that his name was Hunk.
It's pretty goofy.
All in caps.
But
Hunk.
I feel like it's kind of indicative how like through most of Claire A and Leon B, we literally made fun of like one of her line deliveries where she yells at the police chief. It's like, "I'm gonna get you, you."
Yeah, that ended up being a thing for us throughout Claire A, Leon B. Well, it was mostly Claire A, but there was the ending of the true ending where we do have Sherry coming up again. But yeah, I forget Irons. Irons
Yeah.
is his name. She's yelling at him, and it seems like the voice actress is just like unsure about throwing down the F-bomb. Because she's like, and you're like, what are you doing? What's with the like when you're somebody, you just say it.
Yeah,
you don't like hesitate. But it ended up becoming a thing for us throughout the game to just like say that Sherry learned how to say the F-bomb via Claire. So every time she did the
Yep.
Yeah. So sometimes delivery is bad, and then there's this part at the very end where Leon's like, Claire, hi, you're here too? What are you doing? Get out of here. And it's like, oh my god, dude, is this 1998 voice acting? What are you doing, buddy?
Or at the very end when they reunite and Claire's like, this is Sherry, and he's like, okay.
I actually really like that. I think it's so bad. He just okay cool, you have a kid now.
God.
Oh man. But yeah, otherwise like some of the story beats are a little different, but for the most part the game is pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously way prettier, way scarier. And one thing that I also think that I want to talk about is it is so much more gory.
Yeah.
Like to the point that there are several times that I had to look away while I was playing it because of like I can't deal with that.
It's definitely like worthy to note that like the Japanese version of this is like the violence is toned down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically, there's a scene very early on when you go to like check a zombie and like his like the jaw just like kind of like flops down essentially.
Yeah.
In the Japanese version, like that just doesn't happen. Like the mouth is still like all connected essentially. So like,
I wish there was a way to like toggle that.
Well, you gotta find the N60. They need the N64 like features in this. Change the level of violence, make the blood like green or something.
I mean, yeah, I just wish there was a way to toggle like whether or not you get like the gratuitous violence because the game is scary even without that. Like you don't need that to make this game scary.
And I completely agree with you. Like obviously they kind of like play off of a lot of iconic scenes from the original, like the dude getting obviously cut in half from the door, but like that is like just gratuitous to like look. If this was 10 years ago, like 19-year-old Jared would be looking at me and be like, dude, what are you doing? Like you're getting soft in your old age. And it's like, yeah, of course I am. Like I don't need to see that stuff now. 10 years ago I would have been okay with it, but like now I'm just like, no.
I don't know that I needed to see it 10 years ago. Like I am perfectly fine not seeing people's intestines.
Yeah, it's much. It's like, a bit much.
I don't have to see those. Like this is part
that they're supposed to be in the body.
They are supposed to be in the body. Like if they are out of the body, that is a very bad thing. I don't want to see it. But there is a part with X where his body gets a little messed up and his kind of like slide out the side of him like
he jingle jangles.
Like the kitties?
Yeah.
Weird. Although I think one of the best things that we did in Resident Evil 2 when we were playing it is I get spooked pretty easy. Like really
You
easy.
do. You are. I think that was kind of one of the reasons I was there, just to like when things got a little hectic. I was like, all right, I'm your coach now. I'm here to calm you down. We're gonna get through the situation. We just got a game plan here. We're gonna get through this.
And we came up with an idea. I don't know which of us actually did it first, but it might have been you. But there was this one zombie that like I boarded up the window, and every time I walked by him, I kept getting spooked because he like slams against the wood or the glass or whatever and starts like groaning.
For context, this is the zombie at the window by the dark room.
By the dark room. By the stairs. And I kept forgetting he was there.
And you'd be like, oh!
And so eventually, yeah, I would get spooked every time. So eventually we're like, okay, we're going to name him and give him a backstory. And so we named him Steve. And he was Steve. He was a food delivery guy. Is that what we said he was?
Yeah.
He was trying to deliver food.
Mm-hmm.
And so like when Steve broke the glass, we're like, Steve, you got to clean up your mess, man. What are you doing, Steve? And so it made it a lot easier for me to get around that guy, because every time we would turn the corner, even with Claire and Claire A, when we came across him, we're just like, hey, Steve, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
It's like, oh, he's laid his arm out. He's going to give you a high five as you go by.
Yeah. It made it way less scary to name him Steve.
Oh, also in Claire's route, Steve had a relationship with Mr. X.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
It's true.
I forgot the relation. Yeah.
We had an immense backstory here.
Huge backstory. He also has like an evil twin brother.
Yeah, Marv. And Marv ends up getting killed in the B route because he doesn't know how to stay behind a window like his brother, his good brother.
Steve and Marv. So if you need like pro tips on how to not be spooked by Resident Evil 2,
just name them.
Yeah,
name some zombies in the windows. They'll just like and they'll be like, ah, Steve, you goober, I knew it.
Oh, you got me. Hey. So that's a thing that you can do, and we definitely did that. It was very funny. But it's a whole lot of the same stuff that you would expect from a Resident Evil game. Like, you're running around, you're finding keys, you're solving puzzles, you're killing zombos.
Just without tank controls this time.
Without tank controls, thank God. They reuse zombie models a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. It's kind of like, after seeing the same guy like 10 times in the same level, you're like, all right, now. This game is beautiful. What are you doing? And I don't remember if they gave the context in the original game, but in order to explain why the building is like extremely extravagant for a police station
and weird,
they do explain. Yeah, and weird. They do explain in this one that it used to be an art museum. And so that makes it make a little bit more sense why it's so like, massive.
Who was thinking like, oh man, this art museum's going out of business. What if we put a police station there?
A police station. I mean, I guess you do what you gotta do.
It's weird.
I had Leon Scott Kennedy, rookie cop. In his mom jeans and white tennis shoes, coming in to be a cop. Which at least he put on his like uniform later, because he looked way better in that than he did the mom jeans. I don't know what that look was, but 1998, I guess.
1998 post not Hangover.
Man, I'm still mad that they took that out. But yeah, I mean, we were solving puzzles, and we have the good story about me and the liquor. I think it was the first liquor that we encountered.
Was that the one where we were like, okay, so the idea here is to like just be quiet and walk around them, and
yes,
my good pal Al is doing her rubesti, and she does that, and the liquor is just right in front of her, and she just walks right into him.
was trying to get around him and he ran into me.
And he's like, whoa! And you're like, wah!
So then I just like laid into him.
Panic shots.
So many panic shots. But like I was trying to get around him and he just like got up in my face and it alerted him. I was walking and everything. I was trying so hard.
Yeah, you were walking so well you walked into him.
He walked into me. Let's be real. He walked into me.
That's debatable.
He walked into me.
Look, that's a referee's decision. We're gonna leave that up to the officials here.
Well, if they say that I walked into him, they're wrong because he walked into me. I was very much trying to get around him because I was scared. Very scared. There's a JoJo reference.
Yep.
Yeah, on the lockers.
This is JoJo.
I don't know if it's an actual JoJo reference, but
I mean, it could be.
It could be.
Capcom at that time would have been making that JoJo game.
True.
Obviously not this time, but like back in '98.
Yeah. So like the gist of the story is that like Leon finds out that there's like downstairs way to get out of the police station. The police station was originally used as like a refugee spot, but the zombies have gotten in. And so everybody's turning into zombos. Marvin has been bitten on his side and he is very much in not good shape. He keeps giving you advice, which is very nice.
And every time you're like, hey, we should get you out of here, he's like, nope. You gotta get out of here, kid.
Just gonna lay down on this couch here. And so you are finding these medallions to try and get out of the police station.
As you do.
As you do. You have to go through like the art room and you have to like blow up a cage with some C4 and go through the library, and I don't remember what the other one is, but like there's so many things that you have to do to get these medallions. Oh, right. In the main room, you're right. All the while you're killing lickers and zombies and opening safes and finding keys and figuring out what your coworkers' initials are and stealing their as you do. Once you like feel relatively well, he doesn't come until later, does he?
I can't remember if it's post going down or not, but it's kind of around that time.
Yeah, because you get to go down into the like underground area and you get to a parking garage.
Mm-hmm. Depending on who you're controlling, there's different areas you get to explore.
Mm-hmm. And so this is like where Leon first meets his lady love for the rest of his life, which, for the record, there is this one scene where Leon runs into Claire and they awkwardly flirt with each other, which is hilarious.
It really is.
They are very bad at flirting, especially since the like zombie apocalypse is upon them. Like, hey, how you doing? It's good to see your face. All that. But then Leon meets Ada and it's all over. No one else ever had a shot.
His magnet is set.
Activated. It is activated. He's like, all right, it's you. It's you. After she shoots the zombie doggo away from him, he's like, all right, well, I'm in love. He's like, you killed that zombie dog and now I have the weirdest boner. Legit, that's how it went.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of like bouncing between like the downstairs area. Like there's this great thing that happened to us in the morgue where the one guy, we knew he was going to come back, so I tried to shoot him beforehand so that he wouldn't come back. And he ended up like flipping over himself.
He did like a friggin' wrestling bump.
He like folded in half, and I was like, oh, okay. And I forgot who it was on Twitter, but somebody responded to my picture on Twitter and said he died doing what he loved. I was like, what did he die doing? What is that? So that was funny. But there's a whole lot of hopping around and trying to solve puzzles. And like when you start feeling safe-ish, emphasis on the ish, which I guess I skipped the whole fight with Birkin.
Oh yeah, you gotta fight Papa Birkin.
You gotta fight Papa Birkin. The G level 1 Birkin you fight with Leon when you
G unit level 1.
Oh my god. When you go down from the police station, he's like, hey, I have a metal rod thingy I'm gonna hit you with, and then you're like, I'm gonna shoot you in the eyeball a lot. Stay away from corners.
Let me shoot you in your very giant exposed eyeball.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I totally forgot that was a thing that we had to do, but we had to do that too. But yeah, there's like a level of comfort that you're like, all right, I know what's going on. I feel okay. There are zombies there. I'm solving puzzles. Everything's fine. Until it's not.
This isn't a game.
They weren't called BOWs at this point, were they? I think that's been retconned in. But anyway, the tyrant appears to attack you. He has been deemed by basically everyone Mr. X because Claire calls him that at some point. She doesn't in this game, I don't think.
I don't think so.
She did in the original, and so that's how he got his name. You go to put the fire out on this helicopter that runs into the police station because the pilot has become zombified, and you're like, oh, the fire's out. I can go down this hallway. Oh, wait, no, I can't. The helicopter's blocking it. And then you see this giant man in a trench coat and a fedora. He just, like, lifts the helicopter up and just comes, like, charging at you. And you're like, oh, God. He is so scary in this game. He gives me so much anxiety. Because, like, he has that, like, weird screechy theme.
Mm-hmm.
But also you can hear his footsteps.
Yeah, you're just constantly hearing it's like all the time.
You never know where he is, ever.
It's one of those things that, like, watching it, I was like, this is a really interesting mechanic in the way that, like, it completely, like, subverts how, like, the original game just let you kind of free roam and really had no consequences for it. And this, you're more like, oh god, I'm panicking, I need to do things, and I gotta do them, but oh god, this guy's just gonna keep coming after me. But so, like, I found that really interesting, but, like, it's one of those things where if I was playing it, I would hate it. Pretty much for the same exact reasons you do.
And I don't know that I hate it, I'm just scared of it. And I don't know why I'm scared of it. Like, he never killed me. Well, he did kill me once, but not in that form. But just the idea that he's, like, stalking you is so terrifying. And I was just telling you, like, I was texting you earlier, and, like, the idea of him is comical.
Yeah.
Because somebody in Umbrella is like, all right, we have this giant tyrant that we're, gonna try and pass off as a person. So let's put him in a trench coat and a fedora, and, like, hopefully people won't notice that he's, a BOW. Like, what? What is that logic? But for some reason, it makes him scarier to me than, like, the Tyrant in the first game, because Tyrant in the first game just got, like, out and hard out, and he doesn't have any clothes on. And, like, this guy is way scarier.
Well, he's also bigger, I think, than the original.
He is bigger, but...
And just, like, more intimidating.
So, he's definitely more intimidating. And he can't be hurt.
Yeah, that's
also part of
a key thing. But... we did realize that rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy is a wizard.
Mm-hmm. But only the 98 version.
Yes, only the good version.
Which is another addition that this game has. That for free you can download the 98 polygonal versions of Claire and Leon. Which
I love when, like, games do that from, like, it's like a re-release or a series that has roots back to that, like, time period, and they just, like, include old characters, like, or the characters that like just dress like that. Like I know Metal Gear Solid 4 did that. I think MGS5 might have done it as well. But like I love seeing like that style of like polygonal art in like a modern game, and just seeing like the contrast between everything, and just it looks so goofy, but like I love it. It's so good.
It's hilarious. And so we'll get back to him being a wizard, but originally when we first played it, we played them in their regular outfits. And
Right.
when we were going to Claire A, Leon B, we're like, okay, let's put them in different outfits. So originally we were going to put them both in 98. But then I was like, okay, wait, but what if we put Claire in her regular outfit and we put Leon in Leon 98?
Mm-hmm.
God, I have zero regrets doing that. It was hilarious. Which Leon 98, his mouth doesn't move and he cannot shut his eyes.
Nor his hands.
Nor his hands. His hands are big block things. Which leads to some very fantastic results. Like, there's a part where he's supposed to be sleeping and his eyes are just wide open. Every time he's talking to somebody, his mouth doesn't move, so he's just like vocalizing things, but his mouth is just stuck. There's a part where he's like holding a bracelet and it's like clipping through his weird block hands. I don't remember if there were any other like hilarious things, but oh yes, there was, but we'll talk about that when it happens. But there were just so many moments that were really good. So highly recommend doing at least one of them with one of the characters in their 98 outfit.
Yeah. The one thing I was kind of disappointed by was that like it didn't affect anyone else, like how in RE1 the modern Chris outfit affected like Rebecca and stuff like that. Like I would have found it funny if like all of the Leon specific characters like Ada got like a 98 polygonal version of themselves, but it made it better in the long run for certain
reasons.
scenes.
Yeah, definitely for certain scenes it was better this way. But there was a point where I was not sure where Mr. X was. I heard him, but I wasn't sure if he was like around the corner or what. And so I was going to try and run away. And I opened a door on the east side and he was there, like opening that door.
Well, you were in a room that had a liquor and you were running from that, and then you were going back to the main room.
The liquor was there.
You were going to head back to the main room, and then you opened up that room to the I forget what
the receptionist office,
the receptionist
waiting
office,
room, whatever.
And just like he's just right there.
Right there. And so that led to more panic because I was trying to get away from the liquor in the art room. There was also a zombie in that hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I opened the door and Mr. X is there. And so I'm just like pressing the run button as hard as I can. And somehow Leon just like clips through him.
Straight through.
And I'm just like, okay, keep going. It was wild.
It was really good.
But yeah, I guess eventually in Leon's route, you get out of the police station. You get to go into the sewers.
They're gross.
Ada's there. You get to meet Kendo, who is not at all Japanese descent in this one. Like, he is definitely a white guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of weird. Because Kendo is supposed to be like partially Japanese at least. And his daughter looks it.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. That's kind of a sad scene. People die. But yeah, then you go in the sewers and it's gross and there are all kinds of like weird critters down there, including a giant alligator.
Who you see for like 2 minutes and then he's like, well, I'm gone. Bye.
He's probably the easiest boss fight in the entire game. Once you
It's
know
really
like which
true.
directions to go, you're fine. You go left, right, left. He bites the thing, and you shoot it, and he just has no more head. He
It,
slides towards you.
it's one of the things we talked about when you were playing it, is that like that's such like a huge creature, and like just
He goes down so easy.
yeah, like it's one of the things you would look at and be like, oh, this is going to be a terrorizing force that's going to haunt me throughout all of these sewers, and then no, you're just done with him, and literally 2 minutes after you meet him, you blow him up and he's
Yep.
dead.
Dead. Like actually dead, not like Birkin
And you're
dead.
like, okay, that sure was something. And then like there's nothing else. There's no other big gators in the sewers or
Mm-mm.
anything. It's just that was it. That's that.
Um, yeah, it's a little weird. And we get the weird shenanigans of like we meet Annette down here, and she sets a zombie on fire, but then starts shooting and hits Leon in the shoulder. Which then which Leon basically takes a bullet for Ada at this point. So like
And then takes a nap.
takes a nap with his eyes open in the '98
Yeah,
version,
he
but
sleeps with his eyes open.
um,
He's ever the alert.
ever the alert boy. Um, Ada like bandages him up and gives her trench coat to him. And then she's like, I'm gonna go do things.
I'm a hacker.
And oh god, her hacking thing is a thing. Um which you also have Mr. X show up while you're doing all this shenanigans.
No hacking.
No hacking. And the big like get of this section is that Ada gets like a identification bracelet to get in a nest, which is basically like the Umbrella Underground Lab. But then she gets like a piece of shrapnel in her leg and passes out in the trash heap.
And Annette really wants to murder her.
Annette really wants to murder her.
Like super duper wants to murder her.
Unclear why at this point. But we will find out later. And so after she takes a nap in the trash, Leon's like, oh, where's Ada? My magnet is activated. Let's go. So he gets up and we have to solve like dumb chess puzzles because God, I hate chess puzzles.
Because the person who's running the sewers has like a chest fetish.
Yeah, it's legit like a chess fetish. The keys have it, the plugs are chess. It's gross. There's this one door in this area that you can sometimes shoot the zombies through, but then other times like it'll just ping off for some reason. You're like, oh my god, are you joking? It's so irritating. So there are multiple times that I was just like casually open the door, take a shot, and then like leave again. But then I would also just try and get headshots through the door and fail a lot.
You'd hit those tiny bars so much.
So much. It was really, really upsetting. So you get through all that, you get to Ada, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna go down to Nest. And we're both liabilities at this point because he has a bum shoulder and she has a bum leg, but she pulls the shrapnel out of her leg and then wraps it up and lets her hobble around. So they're both injured. They're gonna go down to this Nest thing. And then we get the scene on the cable car.
The cable car.
The cable car where Leon's life changed forever, which you could argue is the parking garage, but I think the cable car is really what sells it. Like that's where it's locked in. That he's like, all right, well, this is the next 20 years of my life.
Yep.
Because Ada is good at manipulating this big dumb boy, and she's like, I gotta give you something to live for, smooch. Or she says that she's living for, I don't freaking remember how it goes. But anyway, somebody's living for something and they kiss. It's normal in the version that we played first, but in the second time that it happened where they smooch on the cable car with Leon 98, It was hilarious and made the entire thing worth it.
It's really true.
It was so good. He's just like eyes open, kissing her, block hands, so confused. Apparently she's, really into polygonal boys. It's so bad. Yeah, then you get to go into Nest and fight some weird plant zombies that I hate. At least Leon has like a better capability of taking them out because he gets a flamethrower.
Mm-hmm.
And the flamethrower is really good on plant zombies. I felt kind of sadistic at certain points because I would like initially hit them with the fire and then they would like writhe on the floor for a bit. And then I would like hit them again with the fire and they'd writhe them, hit them again with fire. Like, I felt like I was just watching them suffer, but also they suck. So, do what you gotta do. So this entire section is basically like, hey, you have to keep upgrading your bracelet in order to get to the G virus that Ada has told you to get, so of course he's going to get it. Also, Mr. X shows up again down here.
Hey, did you miss me?
I was like, oh god, no! No! So yeah, you get to the G virus, and Leon's gonna go give it back, and Annette's like, you actually believe her that she's FBI? What an idiot.
Cool.
She's gonna sell it to the highest bidder. What do you think you're doing? He's like, what? But Ada kissed me. She can't possibly be lying. Also, you fight Giant Birkin. Like, giant Birkin.
Big boy Birkin.
He is scary and throws bunches of stuff at you.
He got beefy.
He got super beefy. He's been hanging out with Chris Redfield in Europe.
Chris Redfield, who is totally in Europe and totally banging all the ladies.
Totally banging all the ladies in Europe. All of this is in quotation marks, by the way. So, Annette gets f***ed up, basically. And, she looks like she dies. And Leon goes out very casually. Ada's like, hey, I was getting worried about you. Did you get it? He's like, yeah, I got it. Also, who are you? Because she says you're not FBI, and I'm a Boy Scout, and I think you are FBI, but I really have to know. So who are you? And she pulls out a gun. She's like, oh, Leon, if you had just given it to me, everything would have been fine.
You're right, I am FBI. Federal Booty Inspector, give me the virus.
Leon does have a pretty okay booty here. He had a better booty in 6. But, this was before he was a hardened zombie killer. Maybe he did squats afterwards. Leon pulls out his flashlight gun combo on her. Because, or it's not a flashlight, it's the G virus, but he holds it like a flashlight.
Yeah. I'm gonna flash this in your face.
And eventually, like, he just drops everything. He's like, shoot me. I don't think you can. Shoot me. God. Idiot. But Annette is not dead and shoots Ada. Also, the self-destruct system is going. And so everything starts to like collapse, and Ada's been shot, and so has Leon. And so he can't hold her, and she falls. And this is another change that was made very clear in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the original one, she supposedly dies. But this one, it makes it very clear that she does not die. So Leon is very sad because his lady love that he met 5 minutes ago just fell to her death, supposedly.
It's like, no.
Annette's dead. He dropped the G virus. Good job, Leon. You up everything. What did you actually accomplish here, buddy? So yeah, then we get to run out of the building that's self-destructing. And we have a friend come back to meet us. It's Mr. X. And it catches on fire at one point and then becomes extra beefy. And also his shirt is off.
Who needs shirts when you're this beefy? Just imagine if Resident Evil 2, you played as Chris Redfield and you got to this final boss fight, and instead of actually fighting Mr. X, you just had a pose down with him. And it was who did the best muscle poses wins and goes on to meet Claire.
Wow. Wow.
What? It would be great. Sign me up to redo Resident Evil 2.
No, you're right. That needs to be a DLC pack. So yeah, it's a whole lot of like surviving at this point. You just are trying to not die because you're on a very small platform with a very large man who can charge at you and has a lot of reach.
Mm-hmm. Also, rocks are falling.
And eventually, after you do enough damage, this rocket launcher just appears because that's a Resident Evil trope. And somebody in the shadows is like, now we're even. Because, I wonder who it could possibly be.
It's Leon's Jeep.
And it's Leon's Jeep. Oh my god. At least in the B route, it was pretty funny when I did this fight because I just got the rocket launcher and just like launched it directly in front of me and killed him. Which I should have died for doing that, but I didn't.
Right.
And then it just shows Mr. X's like bottom half just chilling. He doesn't have an upper half anymore. And then you're free. You get to go on a choo-choo. And Claire's route's basically the same in both. Like, that's one thing that's kind of odd about the Leon A, Claire B, Claire A, Claire B, or Leon B in this one, is that there aren't that significant of differences.
Right.
Which is very different from the original game. There were a lot of, like, major differences. But for the most part, they're kind of the same no matter what you do it in. Like, no matter what order. It's just kind of odd that they would do that.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I think that why they did it this way is because originally with Resident Evil 2, they said that all 4 routes were simultaneously canon, which, like, makes no sense, but is very Resident Evil of them.
Right.
But now they've kind of, like, condensed it to make the canon events always happen. So, like, the G virus is always going to fall. Ada is always going to fall. Sherry's always going to get infected. Like, all these things are big in the canon.
Mm-hmm.
Moving forward. So Claire's is basically her, like, trying to navigate around the police station, and she gets access to a few things that Leon doesn't like. Irons' office, which I don't know that I really wanted access to that because he talks about, like, splooging on a tiger.
He does.
Do you have to edit splooging?
It's not necessarily a curse word.
Because it's a euphemism? No, I'm saying, like, maybe I can get away with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But anyway, he does talk about it, and we're like, ew.
He's freaking for a jack-off.
He's apparently really into taxidermy. Which, I mean, I guess if you gotta have your hobbies, but maybe, like, don't wank it over it. But it's kind of like the same dealio, which, I don't remember if it was Claire's route or if it was Leon's route, but you were laughing at me at one point because Marvin which we haven't talked about Marvin in a bit, but he turns into a zombie at one point, and I just headshotted him in one of the routes.
You literally just like
And
come down the stairs and just like, well, gotta get rid of him. Blat! And he just, and he's done.
his head just exploded.
Like, all right, good job, he did it.
You were just like, what? So that happened, and he's just sitting on the couch casually without a head. I don't know which route I did that on, but I was pretty proud of myself.
It's really good.
But yeah, Claire, you're going through the same police station thing. But before the Birkin fight, you run into this girl as you're trying to move this file cabinet locker thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Claire's like, I'm not gonna hurt you. Who are you? What are you doing? Do you need help? And Sherry's just like, you need help. He's behind you. She's like, what? Which is creepy, by the way. Children, don't be creepy. And then you
Papa's
get
here.
you get to fight Daddy Birkin and
Avoid corners.
throw him off the edge. And then she's like, hi, who are you? Can we be friends? And then they bond over like the fact that their parents are weird and Claire's are dead.
Hey.
Sherry has on the dumbest outfit.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't go with her like original outfit, because this one is somehow worse. Like everybody else kind of like got an upgrade from 98, and Sherry got like a massive downgrade. So they traveled together, and Sherry eventually, as we run into in the parking garage, Irons, he takes Sherry, and Sherry drops a locket. So Claire is running around the police station once again, and eventually gets a call from Irons. It's like, yeah, so I need that locket.
Where am I supposed to go? Go to the orphanage. Where's that? You'll find it.
You'll find it. It's in the neighborhood. I'm like,
thanks.
Dude, what? You said, like, if you were in a hurry, you would actually give, like, specific directions,
Right.
which is true. So then we get to go to the spooky orphanage as Sherry and do a stealth mission.
Yay.
Yay. I was not good at this. Like, I didn't die or anything, and I never got caught, but I didn't like it.
It didn't seem like a fun portion of the game.
But we survived it. We also saw that the mayor's daughter is dead and almost taxidermied. Yay. Sherry turns Irons into Two-Face.
She does.
Mm-hmm. She throws some acid on his face. Does like this dumb thing that he opens the door to the bathroom to try and wash his face. And like instead of just grabbing, like she could have shut the door and locked him in there, but no, she just grabs the keys and was like, I'm gonna go downstairs now.
Gotta go,
But
bye.
That key doesn't work on that door, so great. We're just gonna run into his office again. And then Irons catches up to us, is like, all right, Sherry, I'm gonna make you pay. And Daddy Birkin shows up.
It's like, don't turn my kid. Here's some food. Eat it.
And eventually when Claire shows up at the orphanage, she runs in Irons and he's like, you suck. What is wrong with you?
It took too long.
And he ends up having this weird beastie thing pop out of his chest, and he's dead. He's very dead. And turns out Sherry ends up getting infected because Dad's like, hey, I can implant this in you and it won't kill you. Yay!
Yay! Also, Mr. X is here.
Right. God. Great. Terrifying. And then eventually you're doing the same kind of like sewery route thing with Claire, but Sherry is like infected and you're trying to get to her while Annette's like rambling. and basically like resigns her daughter to death.
She really doesn't care.
She doesn't at all. She's like, all right, well, you gotta die because I gotta do other things. Claire's like, dude, what the and so she basically is just like, all right, Sherry, you're my kid now. Let's go. And they end up in Nest as well. And Sherry is super duper infected and has a really bad, no, not you, Siri. And she's very concerned. And Claire gives her her jacket and says that it's good luck and it'll keep her safe.
Except
yeah,
Claire's also wearing a jacket.
If you are playing the route where you decided that Claire was going to wear the jacket outfit, she is still wearing a jacket and yet gives her jacket to Sherry.
It's very good.
But in the way that we played it, she had like a pretty decent looking jacket on, Claire did. And she gave like the covered one to Sherry. So that was a thing. So instead of getting the G virus, like in Leon's route, you're trying to get the antidote to give to Sherry.
Yeah, and basically most of like just getting up to that point is the same as Leon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention that Mr. X gets gutted.
He gets gutted by Papa.
Yeah, so he just shows up a bit earlier after the orphanage thing and is following them, and they get into an elevator and they're trying to get away. And he's like about to get them, and then Birkin just shows up and like rips the side of Mr. X out, which is what I was saying earlier, that he has like intestines just kind of like roll out of the side of him.
Roll out.
But he dies. And also, it doesn't make sense when you do Claire A and then Leon B, because Mr. X dies at this point, but then like he continues on way past that point in Leon B. It makes literally no sense.
Yeah.
And it bothered me the whole time. I was like, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. You got ripped apart. Unless you're going with the whole idea of there being two Mr. X's, but I don't subscribe to that theory. So yeah, anyway, she gets the antidote and is gonna take it back. But she gives the antidote to Annette and is basically like, do the right thing, buddy. Go give this to your kid. Meanwhile, I'm going to fight your husband.
A lot.
Which I have to give Claire credit, because when Leon is doing this thing, he's like, oh, what am I doing? Why did you throw me down here? Like, why am I on the floor with him? And it's like, good luck, buddy. And he like jumps off the thing and gets ready to fight. And when you're on Claire route, she's like jumps onto the thing, like presses button, jumps on, and is like, all right, buddy, let's go. And Annette's like, I don't think you know what you're messing with. He's like, she says, I have an idea. But basically Claire is like, you know what? I'm ready to F this dude up. And she does, if you play it properly. Claire's routes are so much harder because of the ammunition and weaponry she has.
Yeah, it's not as like the weapons Leon has are a better combination than what Claire ends up with.
Yeah, definitely. So it makes it a lot harder to play on Claire's routes because like you're limited on flame rounds, so you know, you're kind of limited on whether you can kill the plant zombies, and you don't have a whole lot of like hard-hitting weaponry as Claire. So a lot of these boss fights are much, much harder.
Yeah.
So anyway, we take down Birkin. We go check on Sherry. She's fine.
Yay.
She's hooked up to an EKG apparently, but is not hooked up to an EKG, so that doesn't make any sense.
Magic.
And then Annette dies. Annette just dies. Which the self-destruct system starts up, and Sherry's mourning her mother's death, and Claire's like, all right, we gotta go. We gotta go. I know you're mourning. Come on, we gotta go. So they end up going down the train area, and they're trying to escape. There's one part that sucks where the door is locked and Sherry has to go around. You have like plant zombies all over the place. But eventually you get down. There's a train. You got a minigun, and you fight Birkin again. This one sucks too. This fight's probably my least favorite boss fight, just because there's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
But then we're like, yay, we're free. We have the train. We're going. If you get the true ending, then everybody's on the train together. Yay. But then there's this weird, like, train rocking thing. They're like, what's happening? So whoever you're playing as goes to the back of the train, and there's, like, Birkin once more just, like, swallowing the train up.
I'm back
in
again.
This massive form. So you have to just, like, lay into him with anything you have until his eyeball comes out, and then you shoot that. And then you get a cutscene of them, like, getting rid of the car and stabbing him in the eye and grabbing the hand of whoever. And so that's the end. And we get the true ending where they are walking together, and she's like, this is Sherry. And he says, okay. And Sherry asks if they're boyfriend and girlfriend. They say no. Claire says, but that would have been one date. There is a guy and a semi that drives by, and they're like, what if everybody's a zombie? Leon's like, I got this. I'll take care of it. So he goes, like, stands in the middle of the road, and the dude ends up, like, flipping him a bird.
Yep.
As he drives by, and they're like, okay, well, I guess not everybody's friendly. And so they continue walking in the desert, and Sherry's like, hey, you should adopt me. Let's get a dog and learn to play piano. What about a parrot? My mom wouldn't let me have pets because she says they're messy. And Claire's like, yeah, your mom's kind of right.
My mom just died.
My mom and my dad just died. You literally murdered my dad a second ago. But they hold Sherry's hand and walk off into the desert because for some reason, like, Raccoon City is, like, in a desert area in this part.
Guess so.
Which I was under the impression that was not where it was, but, you know, like, you can't have Raccoon City Forest and then Raccoon City Desert right next to each other.
Look,
that doesn't make any sense.
The world is weird.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of weird, I think one of the greatest things to come out of this remake is the modding community. Like, putting X gonna give it to you whenever Mr. X shows up is genius.
Yes.
I don't know who came up with it, but it's genius. And so that mod is very, very funny. We have learned that there is a mod that puts Mr. X in a thong with an umbrella logo on the crotch.
I believe you mean that is Mr. Sex.
Right, sorry. I should address him by his proper title.
The umbrella logo is right on his
right on it. No blood in the logo, but just all crotch. I think Leon looks mostly fine in this. Claire has some weird facial expressions that bothered me a lot throughout the game. I don't know if it was just the way the mocap was done, but, like, I don't know what her facial expressions are in certain points. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look human. But I like her new outfit. It's a huge, huge upgrade from her 98 outfit.
Right.
Like, insanely huge upgrade. Although I don't know how you could possibly be worse than, like, biker shorts and pink denim vest and booty shorts. Like, that's pretty top tier terrible. But that's Resident Evil 2 Remake. That's the story. That's what we did. I sucked at it. But it was fun, and I'm glad that we played it together, because I was so scared at certain points. I don't know what I would have done. But there are no sharks and no spiders.
Obviously a big plus there.
So, like, major upgrade there. Also, like, if given the choice between playing as Chris Redfield or playing as Leon S. Kennedy, I'm going to pick Leon every time. I love Leon. He's an idiot, and I love him, and he's actually like super adorable and like everything. And it's insane. And I mean adorable in the sense that like he's a good looking guy, not adorable in the sense that like, oh man, Leon, you're such a nice boy. Because he's an idiot. He's always such an idiot. And he does like the weird one-liners, but he doesn't do as many of them here. He does some, but not as many. I think the worst meaning like the most awkward Leon moment of this game is him flirting with Claire, like at the fence.
Yeah, because like immediately, it's you immediately know like, oh, this isn't gonna mean anything.
Yeah, he's gonna meet Ada like 10 minutes later.
Yeah,
but it's just so awkward because he's like trying very hard and like, buddy, no. Also, like next time Chris comes back, he's gonna be super beefy, and you really don't want to that.
He will try to fight you.
And he does try and fight him many times.
Yes.
Those two do not get along.
No.
Can you imagine if at some point in canon, Claire's like, hey, Chris, I have a new boyfriend. It's Leon S. Kennedy. Like, can you imagine how that would go down?
Chris is like, no.
No.
Denied.
Chris just pulls out a gun and is like, what? Not on Claire, on Leon.
Yeah.
He would pull the gun on Leon, not Claire, because he loves Claire. Leon, not so much. Even though Rebecca's basically like, you guys are the same guy. Person. Which is hilarious. But this is where we meet Sherry for the first time, and we get to hang out with her again in Resident 6.
Where she gets her own beefy boy.
She gets her own beefy boy, and she apparently did not take those piano lessons. The G virus gave her super healing abilities.
Not piano playing abilities.
Not piano playing abilities. And it also leads to Leon being like protective dad Leon. She's very funny. Just the idea that like for the next 20 years of his life, this is what he does.
Yep.
Chase Ada, kill zombies. That's his life now.
Chase Ada, kill zombies.
Sometimes at the same time. Most of the time at the same time. Can you imagine what a weekend would be like as Leon?
No.
Like, what do you do on your weekends when you're Leon S. Kennedy?
Just look at pictures of Ada.
He just like sits in his underwear and eats ice cream looking at Ada, which is kind of similar to our story about what Chris is actually doing in Europe. Mm-hmm. He's not actually in Europe. He's like watching, what do we decide? You've Got Mail or something like that, or Shakespeare in Love.
Yes. And
eating ice cream, crying in his bed. So I think both of them, like,
they're the same person.
They're the same person. So like Leon is looking at pictures of Ada and in his underwear and crying, eating ice cream. And Chris is watching Shakespeare in Love in his bed, crying, eating ice cream. Which, you know what? I support both choices. Maybe not the Ada one, because like, buddy, you can do better. She's using you. But
should we make an official declaration that the Ada-Leon relationship is not a healthy relationship?
Oh, I would definitely say that 1,000,000 times over. It is not a healthy relationship. It is not a good relationship. It's not romantic. Nothing about this is like desirable.
No.
and it's like, it kind of goes back to the whole like femme fatale, like this sly woman's going to use him type thing, which is kind of sexist.
Yeah.
But it's been going on for so long, and it's like, there's the implication in, was it in 6 where she implies that they bone, or was it the movie?
The prequel movie to 6.
Okay.
But even in 6, she's like, I don't really care about you, dude. Like,
yeah,
chill.
We still need to watch this. But also, it seems like it's one of those situations where, like, Leon is definitely in love with this girl, and she definitely is not in love with him.
He wants to put a ring on her, and she's just like, you're kind of just my side piece, dude.
Yeah, basically.
That's pretty much it.
And it's so sad. Like, it's not romantic, and it's very not healthy. And Leon needs to find him a nice girl and settle down.
All these people who like make fan art of them too, like acting
No.
lovey-dovey. I'm like, do you guys not know the canon of these two? Like, what are you doing? Stop it.
She's not lovey-dovey.
Stop it.
He needs to relocate his magnet. Find him nice girl or guy or, somebody. Just find him somebody that cares about him.
Find him someone that he looks at the same way he looked at that motorcycle.
I was just thinking about a comparison that I was going to say that is the most bizarre thing ever, and it's like the perfect way to bring this all around again and probably just end this because holy crap. Ada treats Leon like Leon treated Leon's Jeep. Leon, your Jeep.
Leon, your Jeep.
Leon, your Jeep. Jeep. Your Jeep, Leon.
Your Jeep.
So, Leon is Leon's Jeep to Ada.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Once it runs out of gas, she leaves it at a gas station, runs off in a police car instead.
Mm-hmm.
Tragic.
Very.
But yeah, this was our first introduction to rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield, two major players in the Resident Evil franchise. Our first introduction to Sherry and Ada.
Mm-hmm.
Although Ada did get a nod in Resident Evil 1 as the password for John's computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met some people here.
Some key figures.
God, I love Leon. We have to play the Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Because you've never beat 4, and that's tragic. 4 is wonderful.
We should do that soon.
We should. I agree.
But I think that's gonna wrap this episode up then.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you'd like more from us, go to seasonlanguagecheckup.com or sac.cool. So we got past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Season Language Checkup and Jared and Al Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. You can find more from Aunt Ladyem at AntLadyem.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. That's where we do Twitter. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Next week, the madness begins.
Oh, snap. Is that next week?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, man. I forgot that's the start of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I'm excited.
March Madness returns, and it's time to find out what is the best Persona song scientifically.
Scientifically.
So we will be doing that next week.
Fill out the brackets.
Yes, the brackets are out there. They're live. They're up on our Twitter and other places as well, so you can find it out and about. Fill it out. Make your predictions. See what you think is your favorite Persona song from the 64 that we selected, and have fun with it. We've done our predictions. We've also gotten other predictions coming as well. So
we want to see all of your predictions as well.
We want to see what you got. What are you made of? What are your opinions? Throw them out there. Make them stick. So we will lock ourselves in the tournament chamber and not leave until we have a victor.
One song.
64 will enter. 1 will leave.
My God. I'm excited for that episode.
Heck yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. Get your predictions in.
I was gonna say that we probably cussed more on this episode than we have the entire podcast, but next week might also be a heavily cussing episode because we are going to get heated.
Oh yeah. So look forward to that.